Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel and to July 6th daily. And of course, today, if we have in front of us tents and trees, so we're going to jump into that. Let's get our free coins because we enjoy getting free stuff. And let's get into which one do we want to do? Which one do we want to do? There's a 12 by 12 and a 20 by 20. So let's get into that one. 20 by 20 will be a fun one. So let's start picking apart this guy, see if we can figure anything out here. 2, 3, 4. No, nothing in that one. What about this 5 spot here? Yeah, we can do a little bit of cleanup on that one because we can remove options there. Not much else there, so we might have to just really get into our removal of ones that are clearly not in before we can start to see where we can actually put something. Isn't necessarily always the large numbers, so sometimes you do really just have to dig into it and see what's what, and then you can find the things that you need to get into. So let's see, where are we going to find anything to get ourselves started? Any of these 3s looking good? This 4 has a little bit of work it can do. This guy, no, not yet. The 2 now does have 1 given here, and then one of these 2, so that's going to be out. Then that doesn't really correlate back to the 3 here, but this 3 now has enough reduction where all of these groupings must have 1, so we can go in and get rid of the ones that remove multiple options. Now we don't know which one this goes to, so we can't, but then this 3 now comes back into play again, so we can put that guy in. That's good. This 1 is done now, so that's going to give us this grouping over here, and it's going to tell us this guy's in. And you, and you. And then this 1 is now done. The 2 and 1 are done. We've already got those. These 2 both have to be in for our 4. And these 2 both have to be in for our 4. Now we have 4 tents. We have 4 trees. So this one can't be in. And then these 2 are to finish the 3. Get rid of those. The 2 now is set up and good to go. And that's a corner boy. He can't be in. The 1s are done this way. Yep, that gets us into this 2, which we can remove options. And our 3 is next in line. And then this 3. Wait, I didn't mean to click off this guy. So he will be in, and you and you. Let's hit these guys and you, and that leaves 2 left here. This 5 has to be in. This guy has to be in to finish the 4. You and you, so you can't be in, so you are and you are. And then that'll leave here as the last one in. Good. There we go. First one done easy enough. This is the 20 by 20, so we're going to get some nice big boys here to start looking at. Let's look down the 7 lanes here and start removing the options in those and see if we can pull together something. Try to do them both kind of at the same time-ish and then take a look at them. Yeah, so we have 8 possibilities, so anything that's hitting 2 at once will go. Now, the only thing about doing this way without getting rid of all the obvious ones that you can sometimes makes it harder to see some of them because you don't have all of them cleared, but minor little thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this guy is as well, so we can't remove any multiple options. That one can't be. These 2 can't. And of course, while we're here, we're going to click on the ones that we can obviously see. Trying to find some of these ones where we've removed enough options where we can then just click on certain things. We might have to dive into this whole area because there's a ton over here. Or we can look at this 6 up here maybe, and there'll be something. Yeah, so this guy has to be in. You have to be in, so all of these can go. We'll come back down here in a second. One of these is in, but not more than that. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not quite there. We'll have to take another dip somewhere else, like maybe this 6 just below it might be of use. 7 again, so not quite. Okay. Oh, this is a corner. This is a corner. Does that help us any? Don't know that it did. Let's kind of process these, I guess, because again, we're not getting the very obvious stuff. So maybe it's the smaller bits like we did in the last puzzle that are going to really get us going. So that's a 6 spot, so this guy can't be in. I don't think these other guys are doing much. I might go back up to the 6s and vertical. Only one of these could possibly be in, so that's 1, and then only one of these can be in, so that's 2 total here. So these 4 options are going to have to be in. Then we can get rid of all of this. And we know this guy can't be. Well, this guy is just done, so he's in and he's in. Good. Now we know that each one of these 2 must be in, so we obviously can't remove both of those. Anything else on these guys? And again, we had a 6 over here that I was going to get to in a second, unless something here kind of stuck its head out. Don't think so. No, okay, let's start clearing out this area, because I think we're going to find some stuff over here. We just have to get ourselves situated to be able to look at those. So let's do so, because there's a ton of these that can go. And all of these can go. These guys can all go, etc., etc. Now let's take a look at these guys. Not you. Not you. Okay. Less there than I thought. So maybe we have something where we have a corner piece, or we have something that's just a given that we can figure out, something along those lines. From some of the stuff that we've removed from all of this. Do we see anything? That was the question. That guy can't ever be in. There probably is something. I just have to go in and look at each individual one to find them. That will happen from time to time. Go back and make sure we didn't remove any from these guys. Doesn't appear so. No. This 5 is a little bit, it's getting closer and closer to having something of use, but I don't think it's yet there. No. These guys, oh, no, not you. You are out. No. I gotta have something. I must be just looking in the wrong spot. Let's go back up and down again then. No. I don't think we cleared any of the 7s out, but let's go back and look at them. No. No. Okay. That 4 doesn't look good. 3 doesn't. 3 doesn't. 4, 3, 5. No. 2, 2. No, no. Okay, so there's something in here I'm just not seeing that's going to get us moving again. Question is, of course, where the heck is it? Any of these guys are just givens, and I'm just not quite seeing them. Oh, well, here's a negative constraint, actually, I can say, because this guy can't be in, because he would be taking out all options for both of these, so they'd be sharing a tent. No. Anything else like that we can hang our hat on? Here's a corner piece, so you're out. Alrighty, we're being a little stubborn, but that's fine. We will figure this out. Is there a 1? That's not really too helpful, I don't think. Well, this is a corner piece here. Yeah, that 1 doesn't seem to necessarily do anything. We don't have to have one of these 2 be in, so we're not removing options on a bunch of those. Alright, where the heck are you? Why are we being difficult on a Sunday morning? We shouldn't be like that. It's going to be another negative constraint, I think, somewhere. Where's it going to be, though, is the questione. No. Come on now. If I don't find this here, I'll just have to go back and go station by station and just see where things are. Sometimes that is the key. Oh, this guy could never be in. I guess that does actually help, because this guy now can't be in because we'll remove 2 options. In fact, he is just one of these 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So, okay, there we go. That's there. This is now going to get us moving in the right direction. Okay. You can't be in because you would be removing both of these options, which won't work. So that pushes you down here. Now this guy is here, and I know there's more up here as well. You go here, here. Good. We know one of those 2 is in, but let's go back to here because you have to be in. You're to there. Now you have to be here. And we're going to find, now that we've gotten some things removed in this corner, we're going to be able to find some other things to work with. Or we can just keep riding this little wave of spots that are going to give us tents to work with. Yeah, now the 1 and the 2 are done, so that should get something going, right? You're in and you're in. Let's look at the 7 again, because we have 3. Yeah, there's 4 more left over, so that's what there is. Now we can get started on those longer ones. You are out and you are out, so that will probably get us this 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, these are all in. To finish that 7, this 2 needs 1 more, so you go in there. This 4 has a ton of options. No, we can actually finalize it because we can look in this grouping here, because this guy has to go here, you have to go here, and you have to go here. This guy doesn't have anybody. So that's going to finish the 4 and cross off all of this stuff. Now we can push you. Wait, that's not right. That takes away too many options of this guy. I screwed something up. We're going to have to go back a bit here to some point where something got kerfuffled. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why are these both in? That's the problem. So I messed up something here, but I don't know which one it is. So let's get rid of all this. And go from here now. Because this should allow us to get back into this now. Because we still can say this is all the 7. And that'll create a little chain reaction that we had already started. But hopefully now it leaves options over for the other ones to work in. That's there, and that's there, which means that's there. Now this guy has to be here, which means you have to be here. Okay, so it was this one that got double-clicked or something, and it wasn't supposed to be. Now you have to be in to finalize that. You have to be here to finish this. You're out, you're in. This 4 is done, so we can do that. Now we can go into this 6 here and get all of these done. Do we get anything else going across that was done? Not necessarily, but we can probably find some now. Let's see. 1, 2, yeah, here we go. This 5 has to put these guys in. And that one. Oop, didn't mean to click you. You're a corner piece, so you are out. Good. This 4 is done now. This 4 is probably pretty close. Yeah, we have to have this one, and then 2 of these. We don't know how these necessarily, well, we do now. Once you put that one in, that removes all of these, so these 2 have to be in, and that's going to give us these, and then you. Good. And I was expecting one of these top to bottom ones to work out here. That's out there. Let's see what that created. These 2 must go in. That's going to finish that guy. You're a corner piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. So both of these will be in. These guys are done. So let's see what those do for us. Those have to be here. One of these 2 will be in, so you're out. One of these 2 will be in, so you're out. Oh, that guy was never in anyway, so you're there and you're there. We can then put all these guys in. How did that correlate vertically? It did not, but this 3 is definitely in. One of those 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 2 more of these guys, so you are out. One of these 2 will be in. What about going this direction? So this one is out because it can't take off both of those. Therefore, there's only 1 left for this 3, which is going to get rid of all these guys and then create what we need to finish. Out, out. We need 1 more here, 1 more here. That's going to finish the 6 and then give us these 2. Cool. We got there. A little bit of a misclick there, but luckily we found it and didn't have to completely backtrack. So that's always a good thing. All right. Yeah, let's move on to this one. This is a hard with less clues. 8 and 8 and 11 by 11s are not that difficult, so we'll get on to those. Not that we necessarily need them to not be difficult, but should be able to push through these pretty good and see how things work out. Get all that stuff out of the way. You 2 can't be in. This one here just has to be these ones. It's the only way it'll work. That's going to force all of these. That's going to force this entire row. Now this 3 has to be in, you have to be in, and you have to be in. Good. And we can move on to the slightly larger one. Okay, let's see what we got goings. You're a corner, so you're out. That we already saw. Good, all of these can go. That's a corner. Might have to look at this 4 next, after we get all this stuff kind of worked out. I think we will. Yeah. So we can't have anything removing doubles on the 4, so all of those go away. This guy was never in to begin with. And we will have something here that will get us into the starting blocks, if you will. This one is out for there. These 2 are the only ones left for this 2. There we go. That's the spot we needed, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, that's going to remove enough from this 4 to get that to go, which will remove something else, which will allow something else to go. That's usually the way these things work. That one can't be in, so you are and you are, which means you and you. Now this 1 does come in here and get that guy. Good. Are all these guys kind of having options left over? It looks like they currently are. This 3, though, we can put those together like this. Therefore, these guys will be in. This 2 now has to have this guy be in. And now one of these 2 has to be in, and we already have one here, so the rest of them can't be. That corner piece says that's not in. And in fact, this guy can never be here because we said only one of these 2 could be in. If this guy took this one would always have to be in. So that's out and that's in. There we go. This 3 finishes this line. That 2 finishes that line. And I've messed up yet again. What the heck am I doing? It's got to be double clickings. Make sure. Let's go back to a point where we're fairly certain we've gone through these correctly and see if we can not mess this up again. Okay, that's out. Let's just do that. Let's go a different direction. Sometimes that's the best way to go about it. If you make a mistake, use a different direction because the same direction might just lead you down the same erroneous path. So, again, one of those, this guy has to be in. Now, of course, if we started on a separate area and we still get down the same errored path, then we're going to have to restart fully. Hopefully that's not the case. Now, to make this 3 work, we have to do these guys, and that is, well, that's that and that's that, so that does work. Good. Let's keep on this one then. You are not in. What do we got left over here now? This 2 again says you have to be in. This 2, I think it's the same concept. One of these 2 has to be in. Okay, so instead of, I think it must have been a misclick or something over here, because before we said what these couldn't be in, so this one was, but it's actually looking like this one is. And that should allow us to finalize these. Yeah, that's what it was. Good, good. Sweet. So let's move on to the next pack. 12 by 12 and 17 by 17. Yeah, we'll do one more. We're a little bit over what I would normally want to stick to time-wise, but that's fine. I'm not in a hurry today. It's a Sunday. We don't have to be rushing off to do things. It's not a holiday anymore. We don't have parties to go to, people to see, things to do, that sort of thing. So, although I do have a call with my family later, but that's not going to impact this at all. These are both out for the 3. What else we got? This 4, maybe? These 2 are out because of that, which pushes these 2 in. Not there that I can see at the moment. What else? Ups and downs, lefts and rights. Maybe just something that's automatically given and I'm not seeing it quite quickly enough. These are all possibilities. There's going to be something in here that takes on too much. Where is it? That one, that one. Need 2 more of these guys. Don't have anything looking at those guys. We need 3 of these, but we could easily put 1, 2, nothing, and 1. Or 1, 2, and 1 of those. So this 3 isn't looking like it's giving us too much at the moment. The 1 doesn't look like it's telling us what's what. What about this one? It doesn't necessarily look like it is either. The 2? No. Again, this 3 we can't quite tell. Okay. Let's change tactics, I guess, as to what we're looking for. The question is, where is that? Being a little slow today. Oh, this one never is in. That's what it was. Because now we do have 3 options, so we can remove these guys at least. Does that cause any kind of chain reaction down any of this? Yes, it does, because now this 3, like we talked about before, it could be 2 and 1. Well, that's what it is. Those are out. You 2 are in. These 2 are out, because one of those 2 has to be in. The 1 is done, so that pushes you here. Now you have to go down here. Good, that finalizes that 3. You have to be in, so you have to be in. One of these groupings here will be in. This guy here says it's you, and then one of these 2, so you're both out, which means you're in. Good, that's done, that's done, that's done. This is the last bit for the 4. That finishes the 1, which now says you, and you, not you, and you will be in. And then also you, and you, and you. So you 2 are going to be in. Now, this 3 is that one. This 3, it's either one of those. 2 is either one of those. The 1 we can't quite, the 2 up here just has these 2 guys being in. Now this one has to be in for that, which is also in for this, which means this is the last 3, and this is the last 2. Cool, so we should have 1 more level to go. Let's just get that guy taken care of. All right, let's see if we can get through this one without any trouble. You're out, you're out, you're out, and all these guys are randomly out because they can't do anything. So let's just plop those guys in, and hopefully we're going to start to pick up these 5s and 6s as well. This 5 doesn't look like it's going to do much for us. The 6 might, if we get enough out. It does a little bit because we have 7 total options, so we can remove the doubles on some of these. What about this 5 now? 1. It's another one where we have 6 options, so we can remove doubles. This 6 over here maybe is the place, or the 6 across is also looking like it could be. Let's go through and get most of this stuff out of the way. And then take a look at some of these guys. Okay, let's go back to the 6 now. Yes, there we go. This 6, all the singles must be in, which is going to remove a bunch of options and then start a little bit of a chain reaction, hopefully. And this guy here just has to be in, so you have to be in. You have to. And you. Good. Now, these guys, of course, one of these 2 has to be in, so we can't have any removing both of those options. Now let's see what's come out of this thing. What about this 6 here? I saw this one previously. It's a 7, so we need to get rid of anything that removes multiple options, which we have now done. This 4, same thing. We can't have anything remove multiples. That's about as far as it got us, though. We'll have to come back to these 5s and 6s here, because I think we've removed some of, maybe possibly some of the options that we had previously. This is a corner piece. Not quite on this 5. It still has 6 options. No. Nope. No, this is a corner, though, that can go. The 1 doesn't have any guarantees there. The 1 doesn't have any guarantees there. This 1 doesn't either. Okay. Maybe the 6 is better because we have only 2 options out of these 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Just had to look at it from a different way. So these guys are all out, which means you, and you are all in. Now we know 2 of these are in. We know 1 of these 2 is in, so those are out. These are all out. Now the 1 is done, and this 5 is probably getting closer to usefulness. This guy just has to be in. And it's down to a 6 spot, so it's still not quite there. Let's see. Oh, this guy here, so this wasn't, so this is in. So we're still down to just these 2 left over, but let's... That one's still not quite there. This one we already knew was those guys. This guy, we just were waiting on one of those. This guy's still waiting on some things. Sometimes these little small guys will give you the solutions, but we don't pay attention to them quite as heartily because they are the smaller digits, but it's not always the best way. Okay, here we go. Sorry, didn't see. Forgot this guy was over here and removed an option, so that forces you in. Not quite there. Where is the next bit? This guy can't be in because it would remove options. So there's something. Does that give us our 5? It does. Good. So that negative was very useful there. So we can get rid of all of this stuff. And hopefully, again, that's going to set off a chain reaction that we can work with. You have to be out. You are actually in, and you, and you, and you, and you. Not you, you. There's that. What else do we now have? Let's come up this guy up here. Just had to re-find where that one was. 2 is done, 6 is done, 5 is done. We know all of that. This 1 here is just you. It doesn't actually do much for us, though, does it? because it doesn't tell us anything about these guys. The 3, we still have 2 more options left. The 1 has 2 more options left. Have these 5s and 6s finally gotten us to any place? Well, I guess we can also say, yeah, so this 5 is similar to that 6 is over here. There's actually only 2 possibilities of these 2 tents to have, or 2 trees to have things, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5. If I can get my clicking game to work today, that'd be nice. This is a corner, so you're out. That 1 has 1 left over. We know those 2. Let's go with this 6 now. No, it's still 7 options. Do we get rid of anything over here? Yeah, this 4 now. This one has to be in here. One of those 2 will be in. That removed a couple of things from the 6 areas. That might be useful. Let's look at this 3 first. No, I don't see anything there. No, it does not finish that 6 for us. Well, I guess we can't necessarily say that one of these 2 has to be in, because they could both be in. Because this guy here could be taken by this, and then this one would force that one, but the other way would be... Actually, does that just have to be the way it is? Let's think about that. If this is not in, yeah, that breaks. That's what it is. If this isn't a 10, we have broken the puzzle, because this guy would have to go to you, you would have to go to you, and you would have to go to you, and then you'd be left alone. So you do that. That finishes the 4. That's going to then tell us what these 2 are. We still have those guys. We still can't quite decipher the 6, though. But what about, oh, here's this one here has to be in. This one is out because of that guy. This is a corner, so you're out. This 1 is just begging to be finished, and I can't, doesn't want to, the 4 here says you are. That, again, doesn't tell us much. 3 is not quite there. This one is being a little stubborn, too. Of course, it's just me not seeing things. What about this 4? Here we go. These are both in. That will probably set off this 3. It will. So you're there, you are here, you are here. The 3 is done now, which is going to make these 2 go in. And these 2 go in. And that 1 is done. So now this has to be in and this has to be in. Good. Now this 6 is finally done with. Those are all out. This 3 has to use you to finish and you. The 5 is done. The 1 is done, so now this has to be in, and that will finish the 6 and push you here. Okay, there we go. I kind of don't like how the achievements get overshadowed by the ads there when you do that. What do we actually get? I think it tells you the first one. Yeah, so that was a 7x17 without using hints or undo. So that's what that was. Okay. We are, well, we're way past what our normal time is, so we will cut it off there. Hope you all enjoyed that, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.